pat myself on the back, but Chad was with me first time he went to a change. Just one of the last ones they brought in, they were trying to put some wording in the sleeper. And just happened Dallas, anyway, they were trying to put in a little language on some of the expedited freight. And we called them on the point of order. And they was an executive session for 3 hours and 45 minutes. I said, is this a typo? Because you got Chicago and Kansas City paying a different price than somebody else's there. And everybody got locked up. It was an executive session for 3 hours and 45 minutes. And by the time we got back in, we went in and sat at our presentation table and we won that position. Or they was going to rip us off again. And I was telling him, you think I was a little too rough? Somebody, nope, got my chest sticking out. I'd rather have you there than you know. But we won our position. Fred, go ahead.
Yeah, I've been around a little while. One thing I can say about the crews there, I don't even see in action, is it's like on a change of operation. It always used to be that you brought the work in with you. You just didn't bring anybody in there for the hell of it and give it a job. I mean, Bruce, see eye to eye on that. You got to bring work with you. And they'll take each change of operation. And if you don't stick together and fight it, and have them the way they should be, you'll end up having people from all over the world that don't know nothing about anything, and all they do is break the local up. Because they're belonging to somebody else's local out in California and over here, and you're losing money in your local. You got to have somebody that fights against that. And I'll tell you about Old Ben. You ask him something about the road, he said, I don't know anything about the road there. We'll give you to John Lamb. Well, that's like listening to somebody blow shit out of you. That's all I got.
Thank you, Fred. If everybody's noticed here, we're not calling anybody off to the side, so you can tell me things in your each only division. We're not doing like the local meetings. Wait a minute, wait till the meeting's over. I don't want nobody to hear me. I'm just kidding. Yeah, exactly. That's so embarrassing. Sledge, get right at it, my man.
No, I work at Holland Freight Line. And this is one place that I feel like I never should have been involved in because of the people that we got that's in that office that is a non-union hellhole. Okay? This man right here sitting up there, that's my steward. I don't know how long he's been there. Mike McCarthy did. I don't know how long he's been there because I've been there 3 years and he was there before I got there. But I can tell you, there's a lot of people that don't like him because he speaks up, he stands up for it all. And then we got a couple of guys there right now, more than a couple that don't even really want us there. If you speak up for yourself, you get retaliated against by all the people in the office. I asked Vic Terabella to come over here 3 occasions. Just say something, do something. He told me that we were too young of a union group for him. We in the yellow or ADL. Anybody that's big enough to, and that don't make sense to me.
Took your money, didn't it?
My damn money.
Well, they didn't return their dues yet.
He been down there once in 3 years and he brought some damn hot dogs and that was supposed to be that.
They were probably burned.
I'm sorry.
They were probably burned on the outside and cold on the
You
inside.
speak up for yourself at my barn. People that's in that office, they will tell you that I was told last Friday because they supposed to let us know an hour ahead of time if we got overtime or we got day, to go out. And they didn't let me know, so I told them, hey, I ain't going out. Because you didn't let me know. You didn't do your job. But I was told, okay, well, if you are not going out right now, then if you got a doctor's appointment, I don't give a damn. You're going to get told every day you're going to go out. And every day, I'm the only person that's getting told that I got overtime every day. And I stayed at 3:30. I went at 4 in the morning. every day. Which I told him, hey, you helping me make money, so I don't give a damn. That's what I got to deal with.
Hey, I'm gonna say something to
yourself, you fucked. Oh, excuse me.
The union's not out of Local 41. The union's in this room and out of bars. And you got a man here that is the first finger in his fist. You take care of him and he take care of you, right?
Well, you got my vote.
I mean, this is the guy.
Y'all got my vote.
This is the guy that.
Come and walk my dog, please.
He's the mouthpiece, he's the guy, and he's the guy that as long as you guys get behind him, he's gonna have your back and he's gonna show you how to do it. So he's gonna do the best he can, but it's a lot easier when you got everybody behind him.
Yeah, and one thing I want to say about that is, all they're doing is trying to figure out a weak spot, and I said this at the kickoff. I said this at the union microphone over there. When I said this at the kickoff, it's not just coming up for an election. It's not just waiting for November 13th to come up and count the votes. It's not going to be just running for president as a candidate. When this election's over and we prevail here with a great big number by a couple of touchdowns, that's going to send a message to the companies, and then I'm going to follow up with that message. I'm going to be at your barn, I'm going to be at your barn, your barn, your barn, and all over everywhere. Car Hall, UPS freight. This is going to be going on not for the first week or two or none of that bullshit. We'll be around there and there'll be a presence all the time. And when I get in there, I'm going to be working every day to learn more and more from Mary Beth and JD and everybody I can from UPS. Finding out what the problems are, where the hot spots are, putting out fires. They got some asshole manager that is every shift. I can go down there for that shift and see, we'll compare. We'll see who's the biggest asshole and I'll win. And I'm just telling you, we're not going to be running around in circles chasing our tails. I'm going to be out there. Bruce Williams is going to be available for it. The steward's going to be down there with the power of the local, JD, and all the knowledge and experience he has. What I'm telling you is, this is not just for an election. We have a huge opportunity to turn a big corner here. And we can do it. Let these people know that we're going to be a local to be reckoned with and put this back on the map. And it's not going to be spending more time being at yellow first thing in the morning or any particular. Could be anywhere, 2 o'clock in the morning, 2 in the afternoon, 4 or 5 a.m. or p.m. It's not Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. It's not going to be that way. If we need to be there because there's a bunch of shit going on somewhere when the sun goes down, we'll be there when the sun goes down if that's needed. If they got these people out here going through contract negotiations or these people are out here having meetings, we're going to be available for that. But there's not going to be anybody that works for me that has a job Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. It's going to be 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and that's exactly what they're going to be held accountable with. But if anybody has any questions, ask them now. We're not going to point you out and take you off in the corner and then tell you about when you get 10 feet away, they've solved the problem. If anybody has anything to ask, buddy Bill showed up here today. Right out there, blanket ship came out. We talked just the other day. How the food, Henry? You ate most of the last of it. And
there's a few of us know where you live too. We knock on your front door.
absolutely, come knocking on my door and make sure you bring cover. Bring some food, bring some tomatoes, and leave change.
Yeah, I'd like to say, the point I was trying to make about Michael Perkindale is this, that when all you guys out here, you're here because you know this is important. A lot of people out here are just a little bit nervous and worried. When they see that someone is going to stand up with you, they gain a little strength in their legs. They go along with you, and you see another guy stand up, and they get a little bit more bold. When you got Bruce coming down there at night, or JD or myself, we're going to come down and talk. You're going to get a little bit bolder too, and we're all going to do this together.
Yeah, we got a lot of pussies over there.
Yeah.
And if y'all come on our dock, I swear them down, there's going to be a lot of pissing in pants.
Well, that may be the first
Yeah. Absolutely.
Just the guy here, this guy here, Doc, before you had him, you had got probably would have filed.
Exactly.
Is that what we're about?
Yeah, and like I said, you got a guy that, I talked to Jim Cabell, the president of Joint Council 56, just a little while ago about some of the do's and don'ts about the election, you know, where you campaign. You can campaign on break, but you can't do it on going on the dock or interrupting productivity. And we were talking about several different things on the election coming up, and he had some questions he didn't answer, and he said he'd call me back the next day or the day after, and that thing still is working. I ain't been called back. But anyway, my point to that is there's a lot of ways as a group with the social media, the computers, our availability at the local, out on the streets. There won't be everybody sitting around the hall all day. The guys and the gals that are working for me as union reps, most likely, the ideal job, they should be on the streets seeing you. They'll need to chase a lot of paperwork. I'm talking out representing you. And the more the companies see it, that we're walking shoulder to shoulder. And it might not be too long before you run across somebody representing you as members. Just like as going around campaigning, Jerry and I went up, and all the shit he started down at James Street, I didn't even want to go. And here we go. We get down there at James Street, and we was waving, and the banner come out. People was honking and all kinds. He would put this big banner on the side of his truck, and we was there about an hour and 20 minutes. And there was people honking and waving and high-fiving and pointing at down there at James Street. I called JD, and he said, "Where are you at?" I said, "Across the street." We was cutting up talking. The next morning I get a text from him, "Boy, you stirred some shit down here." Before the sun was up, it was Vic and Butch and John Lang and James Wellison. So people was kind of teasing me on the website, "Ain't seen them guys since they had the grill and burned hot dogs." And what I'm getting at is some of that kind of attention. Some of these people are so disingenuous with the union. I've heard this for 10 years now. What is it you think you're going to fix? And they're voting, they're showing support, they're coming into this tablet. We're going to vote for you. And like I said, we've got more hits on here than even voted in the last election, in its entirety. And these people, if they fill out a ballot and mail it in, what we've seen and heard, if they fill it out, we're going to blow them out of the water. And the companies not only are going to be, holy shit, and as Vic and all those guys are making their way out the door, there's going to be a lot of people throughout the city at these companies going, "Oh my God, they're starting to stick together. Oh my God, they're pulling it together again." And we're gonna make them think that. Don't you think we're not? It's been a long time coming, and we've been pushed far enough. Sometimes when you get pushed far enough back in the corner, you start coming out. You start coming out pushing back is the answer to the question. And then when the people gain some confidence and we all start sticking together, all that bullshit pushing everybody around, that stuff's going to start coming to an end, trust me. If it doesn't, we're going to be there until it does. It won't be just, we'll catch up with you next time. It'll be that then and there. I'm going to give everybody a chance. If anybody has any comments, any questions, I'm tired of boring you right now. It's a Sunday. And I said some words I shouldn't have said on Sunday, but I did it anyway. Can we get an amen? Amen.
Amen. I've got 24 years in Local 41, and I told my wife I wanted to come to this event today, and she goes, "Why? You never do anything like that." I said, "Because I want to see Vic get in. We need somebody like
Who?
Vic, I mean.
Hey, we're going to have to edit that. We're going to have to edit that. I'm going to pay him an extra $7 to edit that.
I want to tell you something, Bruce, since I had some guys talking about driver wire city.
He's a road driver, my new friend, good supporter.
The guys were in the driver's room the other day saying that, "Oh, we're scared of this, not vote for Vic, because he's the only guy and the whole nation is trying to file a grievance against purchase transportation." And I said, "What? Are you kidding me?" But that's what's going on.
Yeah, we got one. I got one here on my laptop sent to me from, or my tablet here, sent to me from Local 728. The principal officers filed a grievance because they're using CRST from customer to customer. So if Vic, or how many of you remember the story Vic was the one and the reason USF Woodmore was out? You remember that story, that he was the reason?
Oh, yeah.
There's one up over there that saw the grievance we filed. And it had to do with 29.3 that says if you take stuff off the rail, and when we filed that with Ruby Gaines, she's the one that told Brian, my boss, where in the hell did he get that? And it had to do with, it says if you think you're going to use preferred purchase transportation, bids will all be protected, including the extra board. And they didn't see the underlying ordinance signed by Phil Young, Pat Jay Graves, Kermit Scarborough, all the people in 1994. And we submitted that. They're like, holy shit, come February, Glenmore was closed. But he'll tell you, he ruled the world, but he'll tell you down the hallway, I don't know much about the road, I can't help you there. He also told a bunch of people, I think it's in one of the squires, with the bid at the cutover. He fixed that, took on the IBT. But he's the one that called me on the telephone the day after we got fixed. I don't know who you talked to or what you did, but I applaud you, because I've been working on it for 2 weeks and they wouldn't listen. And I had called the right people in Washington, and it wasn't Sunday, so I used a few choice words and a few little threatening words, like that are on the back of that Teamster magazine. And that's what got that fixed. Chad tell you that, and John Brandon, that it was me. He gave me credit for it at a union meeting, and the recording secretary has it in notes, but he takes credit for it. It's like it was up, he read it off. They said Bruce Frakes had called IBT and this and that and the other, and all of a sudden that bid scenario was changed. But then he puts out in his mailers, I fixed it all. Woo, that's a hell of a turnaround. You got a question, young man?
Well, actually, kind of a comment.
Okay, yes sir.
Our current,
Henry ate all the food.
very soon outgoing VP, his idea is, doing his part for us, is going into our manager's office and bullshit with him before the readings here. That's his idea. So, people laugh, and that's his idea, that's what I mean. That's his idea of supporting us, our package guys. He just goes in, sits down, has a cup of coffee. I know for this thing, it ain't gonna happen.
Well, I'd say this to you. There's a line of communication that you have to establish. I have to agree with that. But it would never be to the avail of the member. There are some times I had to do that. I'm going to explain to you. We had a boss that right when we were merging all together and talking about meeting with the manager, I'll tell you why it was. It was because I had to try to get things fixed before it got to the fucking business agent.
Right.
So I had to go in and use knowledge and stuff that I have based on past agreement scenarios to keep it from getting down to Vic and Ron. Hell, we can't win that. And I was getting all of our stuff paid. To go in there and try to, at your expense, that's not the way we're going to do business. There are times that there's, when you meet with somebody from either labor or the boss to try to resolve things before a formal hearing, there's a lot of times that can be done. But to try to throw that in your face that he's down there for them instead of you, we're not going to have them working for me very long. There won't be a lot of paychecks going out to somebody that's doing more work for the company than they are for the union. Just trust me. I'm just telling you, out there, who is turn out all that. And some shit like that brought up to me, I'll probably go into a little bit more of those meetings my own self and try to see if we can't make sure that there ain't some of that pushing you guys off to the side and some management getting more attention and better coffee. We're not doing this just for a better parking place in the building. We're we're going to get this thing turned around, trust me. It's going to get turned around. You have my word and commitment. If that's all, Dave, if that's all you have to say, you've been yapping the whole time, good night. You got anything else now? Crow? I want to thank Christy. Christy Arnold helped us. She was out at the shirt desk out there. Great job. Jody is the one that helped us. Dave Townsend got me in touch with her, and she did good care of us here. We're going to do another rally here at this hotel, in this room. They took great care of us, and everything's gone off without a hitch. I couldn't be happier with this that we have here. And there'll be a lot more here, and I think we did a good job getting the word out. It's a good turnout. Crow, I appreciate it very much for helping put this together, and Jason's doing the treasury, and he's doing a great job with that. We still got some shirts out there. And this is always the first one here. I want to thank everybody for coming out. It means a lot. And like Jerry's telling us, and Mary Beth, it's not just about coming up to the election. It's truly about actually checking the ballot. It'll come in the mail. It's for free. And we're going to have another one of these. It's looking like September 21st, which is a Sunday. I know it's kind of a weird Sunday, not a Saturday or nothing like that. It's because there's a lot of people off, either in the city, docks, some of the car hall. So we're going to do another Sunday when we're going to have it. We got as close to Lewisburg as we can get, and we got some Johnny on the spot headed that way. Or else we're just going to shit in the yard. We don't know. We'll pee out behind the horse trailer.
I want a little piece of wood out there so we can dance.
Absolutely. Anyway, in closing, thank you guys very much for coming out. It's all about you. And with this kind of support, this kind of turnout, you guys spreading the word, working for us, we're going to get this done. Thank you guys very much.